welcome to my capstone presentation on the value of organic food education and its promotion, as well as making that food affordable to everyone in the near future. See ya. I decided to target my project toward a place that I know best, the U.S. Army. We are supposed to be in tip-top shape at all times. Due to a sudden drop in recent physical fitness and height and weight scores, I decided to survey my class size of 20 young adults, just to get an understanding of how much of my class had a base understanding of basic nutrition, healthy food options, and overall general health. The survey had 20 questions. Only 30% of my class could answer more than 10 questions correctly. After my survey had ended, I concluded that the student population I sampled were faced with similar food barriers, much like other students across the U.S. and other states. The food barriers that I discovered were as follows. Access to healthier food options, the real definition of organic food itself. If they did know what organic food was, they simply just could not afford it. In the comment section of my survey, I was asked the following question. Why is good food so cheap and organic food so expensive? So I set out to answer just this question. Why is any of this important anyways? Why is this such a public health issue? Let's take a look at America's obesity history. The public health problem. According to the CDC, more than 78.6 million U.S. adults are obese. 30 to 35% of South Carolina adults are obese as of 2014. Obesity-related conditions include heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancer. The estimated annual medical cost of obesity in the U.S. was at $147 billion back in 2008, and that number continues to rise. The population most greatly affected by obesity are non-Hispanic blacks in America. To combat obesity just in South Carolina, there is plenty that we could be doing as a general population. But let's just start with what we're putting in our mouths and why that costs so much. Part of the solution in my eyes was to supply students with healthy resource options that are accessible and affordable, and also finding out why organic food was so expensive in the first place. I also wanted to find out if there was any hope for the future in terms of lowering organic food prices. So I partnered with two local organizations that are near campus to find my answers. The City Roots Farm and the USC Community Garden, all within 10 minutes of walking distance near campus. At the USC Community Garden, my job duties were as follows per visit. I helped plant new crops, manage the greenhouse, pick for weeds, process compost, distribute mulch, construct garden boxes strategically placed around the garden itself. Also, I helped with the produce sales, and that consisted of picking the produce, bringing them back to a refrigerated location, and also keeping track of what was sold and what wasn't sold on a daily basis. I also got a chance to buy some produce for myself, and I found that it was a lot cheaper than shopping at Walmart, and also it was easily accessible being that I was on campus during the week anyway. The highlight for me was being able to speak with community garden leaders on several food issues and being able to interact with other students across the campus. At the City Roots Farm, my duties were similar to the ones that I did at the USC Community Garden, except I spent a lot of my time with microgreens. Microgreens is a cash crop for the City Roots Garden and the farm. I spent much of my time in similar warehouses, and in the next video you'll get a description of what I was doing from a nice young woman that I work with. At right now.
I'm in greenhouse 2 at City Roots, and we grow microgreens in these greenhouses. And different greenhouses we focus different microgreens in due to the way the sun rises and sets, the way that they're set up, and shadows from trees around, environmental factors and stuff like that. Certain microgreens will do better in certain areas, so we tend to put them there. So we've got 3 different ones running right now, and this is greenhouse 2 of 3. And right now we've kind of you caught us at the end of the week, so we're kind of on the end of our harvesting. So we've got a lot of stuff that we're getting ready to be planted. So there's not a lot growing right now for you to see. But So that's kind of the way things work in here. And then we've got other things set up, just herbs like bay leaf tree and aloe plants and some lemongrass, and just we try to, wherever we can work things in that we can kind of possibly grow and make it work, that's what we're going to do.
Thank you. Another activity that I spent a lot of time doing was harvesting for CSA sales. CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. For the summer, the CSA sales take place on 4 separate Thursdays and are priced at $255 per share and $130 for half a share. After harvesting is finished, we place the produce in the refrigerator and await for them to be sold. Any produce that isn't sold after a certain expiration date are reduced down to a half a price for the workers that work there.
Solar panels or photovoltaic panels that we're actually a week away from them being plugged into SCNG for power. It should be capable of producing about 16 to 17 kilowatts of power, which is more than enough to power our entire farm. Hopefully it'll have enough to also put back onto the grid as well. So we'll actually get energy or credit through SCNG, so it should more than pay for itself. There's also some state and federal tax credits that has made this possible, and also a portion of a USDA grant too. So in the long run, it should pay for itself in 3 to 4 years, and then also start making us money for that.
Awesome, thank you.
Cool, thanks.
After my hours of experiences and several interviews with key leaders, I have come up with 5 reasons as to why organic foods are so expensive. Number 1, no chemicals equals more labor. The organic price tag more closely reflects the true cost of growing the food, substituting labor and intensive management for chemicals, the health and the environmental costs which are borne by society. Number 2, demand overwhelms supply. Retail sales of organic foods rose from $3.6 billion in 1997 to $21.1 billion by 2008. According to the USDA, the 58% of Americans claim they prefer to eat organic over non-organic. However, organic farmland only accounts for 0.9% of total worldwide farmland, and organic farms tend to produce less than conventional farms. Number 3, higher costs of fertilizer for organic crops. Organic farmers eschew inexpensive solutions in order to keep their crops natural and instead use compost and animal manure, which is more expensive to ship. Number 4, crop rotations. Instead of using chemical weed killers, organic farmers conduct sophisticated crop rotations to keep their soil healthy and prevent weed growth. After harvesting a crop, an organic farmer may use that area to grow cover crops, which add nitrogen to the soil to benefit succeeding crops. Last but not least, subsidies. Production-oriented government subsidies reduce the overall cost of crops. In 2008, mandatory spending on farm subsidies was $7.5 billion, which, while programs for organic and local foods only received $15 million, according to the House Appropriations Committee. Will the cost of organic food ever drop? The premium price for organic foods should decrease with the development of more accurate pricing schemes, increased demand, and improved production efficiencies. But still, chances are a premium will remain due to the cost built into the organic industries. Until then, try to get most of your organic foods from farmers markets. You'll be supporting local farmers and purchasing the food at a reduced price since you're cutting out the middleman, retailer. Being that I am a public health major, I have learned from all my coursework that research is one of the most important things when studying basically anything. So, my first challenge was choosing the right topic and conducting the proper research. My research topic was the foundation on which everything else rests upon, so it was crucial that I chose carefully. Number 2, developing a doable topic. Determining what resources I had available, i.e. time, money, people, and choosing a topic that did me justice was very important, and I felt that nutrition was my best approach when approaching this project. My public health courses have also taught me to make healthy connections in the community, and I did just that. That was one of my successes. in this project is making connections around the community that I can use even when I'm finished with doing this project as well. Another one of my successes was learning something new. Never stop learning. That's another success that I had in this project. I'm continuously learning, although I'm well done with this project. And also, I'm just learning to have a positive attitude in anything that I do and not fear failing. This was definitely one of my best productions that I've ever done, and I thank you guys for watching. This project has influenced my research and critical thinking skills, which will help me in my next career as an Army officer after graduation. Knowing what I know now, I would definitely practice better time management in reference to signing up for volunteer hours, and I would also spend more time talking to actual grocery store retailers to get another view on organic pricing.